In this video, I'm going to make a bird table using some offcuts from an oak sleeper wall I made in the garden last year. I'm starting with the design, and it's essentially a miniature oak framed gazebo, but I decided to move the corner posts in a bit so that the birds can have easier access on all sides. I'm also going to bring the roof fairly low so that it hopefully discourages any big birds like pigeons and magpies from swooping in and stealing all the food. So far, I've milled up some pieces for the base of the table, and for this I'm just using my circular saw with its built-in rip guide. Now, this probably isn't the best way of doing this, but it's way faster than a handsaw, and I don't currently have a table saw or bandsaw, or any power in my workshop at all for that matter. Anyway, this method worked pretty well, and the fresh cut planks just needed a little planing to get them smooth and square. Rather satisfyingly, two of the pieces I cut had a lighter sapwood edge, which matched almost perfectly with the lighter third piece. I might have put a bit too much glue on here, but a good tip for cleaning it off your fingers is to use your wood shavings, which saves wiping it on your trousers or shirt, or wasting a cloth. While that was drying, I started to cut some miniature beams of various sizes that I could use to start making the posts and roof structure. I thought about making a fully detailed plan with measurements, angles and all the rest of it, but I think this will be a fairly complicated build, at least for me it will, and I'd rather get stuck in and figure things out as I go instead of puzzling with rulers and calculators for hours. There was some slight misalignment with my glue up of the base, but a few strokes with the plane was enough to get it nice and flat. I've got the two sides square and parallel to each other, which I can then use to trim the other side square and to the right size. Okay, I've now got a nice flat square to work from. We can start to see how it's gonna come together with our posts in the middle. Obviously they're a little bit long at the moment, but I don't want to trim these until I've worked out the roof. We're going to have a perimeter around the outside that the birds can grab onto, and it will help contain all of the food within. The next thing to work out is going to be this roof structure. Also, Winnie really wants to help me. She doesn't enjoy it when I'm woodworking too much because she wants all the attention, don't you, Winnie? Yes, you want all the attention. Next, I took some of the mini beams I cut earlier to start figuring out the roof. My approach here was to lay things out and adjust until it all felt right. Then, I used a sliding bevel to get the angle so that I could use it to mark the same angle on all the different pieces. I decided that the best way to put the roof together would be to have a central column that 4 corner beams would all attach to. Then I could make a square frame underneath which would add some extra support, as well as give the roof a solid point to sit on top of the main posts. A few extra bits to add some strength and it should be good to go. So, I took a few more of my mini beams and cut them down to size, ready for some simple joinery to glue them all together into what I'll call the roof support square. It's probably pretty clear at this point that I don't know the proper terms for any roof components, so you'll have to just bear with me. I'll spare you the footage of me gluing and clamping this overnight and just cut to the following day when it's already dry. Once I'd cleaned and squared up the roof support square, I used it to mark out where the 4 main posts should go, and then started to cut some little mortises for them. And once I'd done those, I could move on to the matching tenons on the posts. Joinery on this small scale isn't easy, as the margins for error are minuscule, and I definitely made some errors. But the fit on these was pretty good, and once I'd done, it was just a case of repeating the process on the other three. Okay, so I've got the mortise and tenons cut in for these support posts, and it's starting to look like something. So, next job is going to be cutting the notches that these beams will rest on, which will make it all stick together much better than it does currently. I swapped out the cheap masking tape for some stronger gaff tape to help me find the right position for the notches, which, again, instead of using any clever maths, I found by holding the two pieces against each other and making a mark on them with a pencil. And I could use my sliding bevel, still set from earlier, to mark the perfect angle. I also cut the corners off the support square so that the beams wouldn't be just resting on the corner and would have more surface area to glue to. And then I glued the whole roof structure together. Looking back on this, I should have used the old CA glue and activator trick to hold these pieces in place while the wood glue dried. But at the time I didn't think, and just added loads of tape instead to keep things in place. Once it was dry, I could get an idea of how long the central posts needed to be and trim them to size. But I'm not going to glue those in just yet. It's always a good idea to hold off as long as possible before gluing parts together, because you never know when you might need to adjust something. Next, I cut this pile of tiny sticks, and my plan with these is to glue them to the roof beams to give the roof tiles something to rest on and stick to, kind of like this. I got them glued on, clamped them, and put the roof to one side while it dried so I could start working on the perimeter pieces that'll go on the base. Now, these were just some of the beams I cut earlier, and they were all pretty uneven, so I decided I'd plane them all together to make sure they were exactly the same thickness. A good tip when doing this, or when planing any wood, is to make sure you're going with the grain, which you can see really well on this piece here. All of the grain is running up in one direction, and as long as I plane in that same direction, I won't have any tear out. I make sure all the pieces are together, clamp them in the vise, and then plane until they're all nice and flush. Turn them the other way to make sure they're the same on the other side, and wait for it. So, while I was planing, I accidentally wobbled the bench a bit too hard and knocked the roof structure on the floor. But, apart from some broken spring clamps, I think got away with it. The rest of the structure seems okay. I've lost another clamp. Anyway, with the roof safely on a separate bench, I got back to planing and then glued the perimeter pieces into place on the table base. Again, I'll spare you the lengthy clamping montage and just put that all to one side while I work on something else. Okay, I now have a bunch of thin strips I can use to start cladding the roof. And the plan is that I will cut a 45-degree angle on each of these, or whatever the correct angle it is, and start to lay them up the roof like so. till they get to the top. I'm going to get these sanded and cleaned up, remove some of the burn marks and saw marks, and then cut some angles and start gluing them on. As with most other parts on this project, I didn't measure the length or angle on these properly. I just made marks from the actual roof, which I think is probably better in this case anyway. I think approaching things in this way makes woodworking quite accessible, and it means that you can just dive in and start making. And sure, sometimes it'll go wrong, or it might not fit quite right, but when you're working with offcuts on a small scale like this, the stakes are relatively low, and each mistake is a learning experience. Speaking of learning experiences, I realised once I'd cut these that they were probably a bit thick, at least on the tops, and all of the tiles were kind of sitting up off each other a bit too much. So I added a little chamfer on the top and the sides, and while it didn't make a huge difference, it at least meant there'd be a bit more contact on the glue surfaces. I cut all the tiles for the other sides and started the long process of gluing them all in place. There weren't any clamps that would work for this type of glue up, so I went back to the good old cheapy masking tape, and to be fair to it, this time it held things in place. Okay, the glue is dry and we're almost ready to open for bird business. But there's a couple of things that I want to address first, and a couple of things that we need to finish. The first one is these ridges. I always knew that they were going to be a little bit rough, and the plan is to put a ridge cover or ridge piece on here that will just kind of tidy that up. But I think before I do that, I need to just smooth down this whole area so that the ridge piece can sit a little bit flatter. At the moment it's not going to be making contact in many spots, so I think a bit of sanding, a bit of rasping, and I'll be able to get that pretty flat and these ridge pieces on. The second thing that I want to address is these posts under here. Now that I've seen everything come together, I think these posts are a little bit thin in proportion to everything else. Now this bit isn't stuck together yet, so I can adjust these, make thicker ones, add them in, and we should be in a good place to get everything stuck together and put it outside for the birds. For the main posts I needed to cut some more beams, as well as cut the tenons to fit the mortises which are already there. Then it was on to rasping the ridges, which felt a bit weird, but it did the trick and it got the cover pieces sitting much flatter. While I had the rasp handy, I also tidied up these little bits in each corner on the underside of the roof, so that everything just looked a little neater. Then I glued on the ridge pieces and taped them down because clamping them would have been very tricky. While that was drying, I added a slight chamfer to some of the sharp edges on the base and sanded off my earlier pencil marks. Then it was time to start gluing everything together. Because the roof was only glued and placed on top of the posts, I decided to add these angled brace pieces to give it a little extra strength. I also added some little planks between the posts so that the middle was like a bowl to hold some seeds and food for the birds. A little shaped piece on the top, and the only thing left to do was to secure it to a post outside. Despite a few mistakes along the way, I'm really happy with how this build turned out, and hopefully the birds will be too. If you've enjoyed this video and this build, please consider subscribing because I plan to make more. And if you have any questions or tips for me, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.